Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Irie from On the Hot Podcast. Today, this will be the Combat Series episode number 44 for you guys today. Of course, this episode is going to be coming out on all four of our platforms: our Instagram account, our Facebook account, our YouTube account, and our Apple Podcast account. So let's go ahead and dive into the first segment of episode 44 on the Combat Series this week. I'll be sharing my UFC 300 main event fight prediction between Alex Pereira and Jamahal Hill. So this will be the main event of the stacked UFC 300 pay-per-view card, where you have Alex Pereira. He will be making his first title defense after becoming the light heavyweight champion back in November of 2023. He'll be making his first title defense in his new division against Jamahal Hill in the main event of UFC 300. So these are my storylines heading into this main event at UFC 300. Can the light heavyweight championship finally get back on track? Can the championship finally break its curse? And what I mean by that is this light heavyweight division has gone through a lot in the last 2 years in the UFC. Because back in 2022, you had Yuri Prochazka, who won the light heavyweight championship, unfortunately got injured. He was forced to vacate the title back in 2022. Then you fast forward to 2023, when Jamahal Hill won the vacant light heavyweight championship. It was forced to vacate the title in 2023 due to an injury. So we have not seen a consistent light heavyweight champion in quite some time in the UFC. And the division has been cold, but now we're seeing top tier names in the division. Like I just said, Yuri Prochazka is still in the division. Jamahal Hill still in the division. You have the new player in the division, Alex Pereira, who's now the new light heavyweight champion. So we're gonna see if the curse could be broken. We're gonna see if this division could get back to maybe the days of when John Jones held the light heavyweight championship. Time will tell, but we're gonna see if this division could get back on track. But next storyline is, can Alex Pereira continue his dominance in the UFC? The man is the fastest two-division world champion in UFC history, because the man has not even had a total. The man doesn't even have a total of 10 wins with the UFC, and the man is already a two-division world champion. He's already became the middleweight champion. He's now the reigning defending light heavyweight champion. So can he continue his dominance? And he's only had 7 fights in the UFC. Two-division world champion. Maybe one day he could become a 3-division world champion. Time will tell, but we're going to see if Alex Pereira can continue his dominance at UFC 300, because he has his plate full against Jamahal Hill. So then my storyline for Hill is, can Jamahal Hill regain the light heavyweight championship, the title that he never lost? Like I just said a few moments ago, after he won the title, he was in training camp and sustained an injury which forced him to vacate the light heavyweight championship. And at the time when he won the title, he was on a 4-fight win streak when he lost the title. So he was high as a forest fire as the new light heavyweight champion. Never got to defend the title because he had to vacate it due to injury. Can he prove that he was the champion that he always was set out to be? Can he regain that light heavyweight championship against Alex Pereira in the main event of UFC 300? So this is my tail of the tape for the fight. You have Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira has 9 wins, 2 losses to his resume. He has 7 victories coming way of knockout. He's currently the reigning defending light heavyweight champion. Currently stands at 6'4" and has a reach advantage of 79 inches. Then you look at the challenger, Jamahal Hill. He has 12 wins, 1 loss to his resume. He has 7 wins coming way of knockout. He's the former light heavyweight champion. Also, like Alex Pereira, stands at a 6'4" and also has a reach advantage of 79 inches. So in the height department and the reach department, it's fair game. Both have the same height and the reach. So this could be an intriguing fight when these two respective fighters meet in the octagon on Saturday night. So these are my game plans for the respective fighters that they plan to walk out of Las Vegas, Nevada in the T-Mobile Arena with the light heavyweight championship and the main event UFC 300. These are the following game plans I have for these respective fighters to follow. Starting off with the challenger, Jamahal Hill. He's got to be alert defensively. And why I say he has to be alert defensively, if you guys look back at that fight and that Madison Square Garden fight between Alex Pereira and Yuri Prochazka, the fight was 50-50. It was going back and forth with strikes going right down the middle that Alex Pereira and Yuri Prochazka were landing during that fight. But if he walks into a punch just like Yuri Prochazka did in the second round of that championship fight between himself and Alex Pereira, there's no going back. You're not going to have a chance to recover. Alex Pereira is going to put you away if you make a mistake defensively, especially if you walk into something. So he has to be alert defensively, and there's no shot of survival if he walks into a shot by Alex Pereira. So, and next game plan, he has to use that right hand. The right hand Jamahal Hill possesses is his right hand of destruction. If he lands that right hand, landing the right hand is Jamahal Hill's best weapon in his repertoire in the octagon. So that right hand of destruction, he has to get that right hand going. If he establishes his power early with the right hand, it can leave Alex Pereira second guessing to come towards him in the fight in the octagon. So I think using the right hand is going to be in Jamahal Hill's advantage. And last but not least, he cannot take his foot off the gas pedal. If Jamahal Hill takes his foot off the gas pedal against a very dangerous fighter in Alex Pereira, he has no chance of winning this fight, because he has to start off fast. He has to take advantage of every single thing that he has that presents itself in that octagon on Saturday night. And he's not going to have much opportunities to put away a guy like Alex Pereira. If he does not put him away early when he has the opportunity to, Alex Pereira is just going to jump back on him, and it's going to be a bad day in the office for Jamahal Hill. So he has to be aggressive from round 1 all the way to round 5 if necessary in these championship rounds. He cannot afford to take his foot off the gas pedal in this fight. So starting up with the champion, Alex Pereira, these are the following game plans I have for him. Use his amazing kickboxing ability, his amazing kickboxing background is the reason why Alex Pereira is already a 2-division world champion with just having a total of 7 fights in the UFC. His kickboxing background is amazing, but he's got to use that. He's one of the best strikers in the MMA today, and he has to try to land strikes, signature left hooks, as much as possible to Jamahal Hill, who is also a dangerous striker in his own right. Next, he has to land leg strikes. Now, if you see, obviously in combat sports, we know if somebody has an injury that you're aware of, you're going to target it in the fight, whether that's boxing or MMA, you're going to do that. So Jamahal Hill is coming back from a torn Achilles. Your Achilles is a part of your leg. I think if he lands leg kicks and leg strikes to Jamahal Hill, I think that's going to be in his advantage. He can slow him down with some significant leg strikes, some calf kicks, or maybe some body kicks as well. If he can land some body shots with leg strikes, I think that's going to be in his favor as well. So I think that could slow him down if he gets some leg kicks going in this fight. And last but not least, Alex Pereira has to win the striking battle. Both are some dangerous strikers, and both possess a lot of power in the striking department. So this fight is, they're both going to be standing up all night long in this fight. It's rarely going to be on the ground. It's going to be a striking affair. Alex Pereira has to win the striking battle if he wants to successfully retain his light heavyweight championship in the main event of UFC 300. And he cannot lose a striking battle, because we seen last year around this time in April when he fought Israel Adesanya. In the rematch for the middleweight championship, he lost a striking battle and evidently ended up losing that fight in the second round to Israel Adesanya. So he cannot lose a striking battle. It is possible to win a striking battle with Alex Pereira, and Jamahal Hill has a shot of doing that, but Alex Pereira cannot lose a striking battle, because if he loses this battle against a dangerous striker in Jamahal Hill, he's going to lose this fight. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Alex Pereira to successfully retain his light heavyweight championship against Jamahal Hill in the main event UFC 300. I see this fight ending with a devastating knockout. I think it could happen in the second or third round. I think this fight is going to be very fast-paced fight between Alex Pereira and Jamahal Hill. I think both respective fighters are going to land a lot of significant strikes early on in this championship fight. Someone's bound to get knocked out because of how dangerous of each striker both of these fighters are as strikers. And I just trust Alex Pereira's kickboxing abilities over Jamahal Hill's striking abilities. I think Alex Pereira is hungry to stay the king of the light heavyweight division. I think he's going to successfully retain his light heavyweight championship in an exciting striking affair between Alex Pereira and Jamahal Hill in the main event of UFC 300. But that is my fight prediction for this weekend's fight between Alex Pereira and Jamahal Hill.